Welcome to the OHS&E newsletter, where you get news, updates, and related OHS&E information. Let's get into this month's topics. Looking at December's topics, we've got safe driving and transportation, prevention of injuries, and soil and vegetation. Let's get straight into it. Let's start off with safe driving and transportation. Principles of driving: stay alert and stay focused. Don't allow yourself to be distracted with mobile phones or if you're eating or adjusting controls while driving. Make sure you follow the safe speed limits and ensure that you adjust for weather, traffic, and other road conditions. Maintain safe following distance. Use the 3-second rule, making sure that there's enough space between you and the vehicle ahead. Never drive under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or being impaired in any other way that will affect your judgment time, which also includes fatigue. Before you go out, make sure that you do some vehicle safety checks, like a pre-check inspection. Check brakes, tires, lights, mirrors, and fluid levels before starting off your journey. Secure loads. If you've got any cargo, make sure that they are secure and that everything is where it should be and that it's not going to fall around while you're driving. Emergency equipment. Make sure that you carry a first aid kit, fire extinguisher, warning triangles, and make sure that your spare tire is in the car and it is pumped to the right pressure. Transportation safety. Make sure that safety belts are worn by all participants. Make sure that there's no overcrowding and that everybody has a proper seat and that they're comfortable in their seats. Make sure that if you're using company vehicles, that you follow the fleet management policy and log trips. Emergency preparedness. Make sure that you know what to do in case of breakdown. So who do you contact, which area you're in. If you don't have proper cell service, how can you get through to emergency services and things like that, and in the case of an accident. Keep emergency contact numbers handy. Make sure that you've got the number all over South Africa, which is 112 for emergency services. Okay, that you can get a hold of through anywhere on the roads in South Africa. And report unsafe conditions. Try and report that through to the authorities as soon as possible, because it does help them understanding things. Also remember, we're going into the December holidays. People are going to be driving a little bit more erratically, and there's going to be a lot more cars on the road between certain destinations. So make sure that you travel safely. Prevention of injuries. Identifying and assessing hazards. So you need to conduct regular risk assessments in the workplace and during tasks. Do a take two. Stop for 2 seconds or 2 minutes and just evaluate your situation. Make sure that there's nothing around you that can make you get injured or anybody else. Look for the common sources. So looking around for slips, trips, falls, sharp objects, and then obviously looking at the machinery, ergonomic risks, etc. Implementing controls. We just tackled 3 controls here from the hierarchy of controls, which are engineering controls that include guardrails, machine guards, anti-slip, flooring, etc. And then we look at administration controls. So safety policies, training, job rotation to reduce fatigue, making sure that you understand the job completely and understand the risks that are involved. Protective equipment, looking at PPE, we have a look at the helmets, gloves, safety shoes, and eye protection. Promoting safe work practices includes proper lifting techniques, bending knees, keeping a straight back and avoiding twisting. So when you're sitting in a chair, don't twist around. Obviously keeping walkways clear, clean spills immediately, and things like that. Safe tool use means using the correct tool for the correct job, and inspect the tools beforehand. Emergency preparedness, making sure that all employees are trained on first aid and emergency response, and that you can easily access emergency equipment, exits, and telephone numbers to let people know what is going on and report it correctly. Reporting and continuous improvement, encourage reporting of near-miss incidents and unsafe conditions, and review to make sure that you understand what the reason was that the incident happened in the first place to prevent a reoccurrence. Now, if we have a look at it, all of these in terms of traveling over December, let's take a step back. Identifying and assessing your hazards. Know the route that you're going to take. Know which way you're going to go. Know where you can have your stops. A lot of the major highways actually have 2-hour stops in between. We're also fortunate in a lot of the routes that are taken and you go through towns, a lot of them are quite close, and there's a lot of garages, the filling stations, eating places and things like that, and that you can stop and feel comfortable. Implementing controls, making sure that your car is correct, making sure that you that you are the driver and you've got all your admin things in place before you go careering down the road, and to reduce fatigue, maybe having another driver there. And protective equipment, making sure that you wear your safety belts. If you're on a motorbike or you then you make sure that you're covered from head to toe so that there's no skin, so that should an incident happen that you fall off the bike, that you are actually protected. If you're carrying a trailer, make sure that you're not top heavy with that trailer and things like that. Promoting safe practices, obviously making sure that you rest every 2 hours. Some people need a little bit more, some don't need those 2 hours. Some people can travel further distances. Understand and know how you're feeling to make sure that you do not get fatigued on your job. And also bear in mind that a lot of the times when we're actually traveling and it's raining, as it has been for the last couple of weeks across the country, that we need to make sure that we are actually factoring that in also to our tiredness. Okay, and then obviously reporting and continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is understanding and knowing your routes and things like that. Next, we're going to have a look at soil and vegetation. So an overview of soil and vegetation, soil composition and functions. Soil is a complex mix of minerals, organic matter, water and air, providing essential nutrients for plants and supporting microorganisms. Vegetation's role and type. Vegetation includes trees, shrubs, grasses and crops that stabilize soil, prevent erosion, and regulate the water cycle. Soil and vegetation symbolism. Healthy soil promotes plant growth, while vegetation protects soil from degrading, creating a vital symbolic relationship. Then we're going to have a look at the different types of vegetation. So natural vegetation includes forests, greenlands, and wetlands that grow without human intervention and support unique biodiversity. Cultivated vegetation consists of crops such as cereals, fruits, and vegetables grown for agricultural purposes. Ecologically, roles of vegetation: forests regulate climate and serve as carbon sinks. Grasslands support livestock grazing, and wetlands aid in the water purification and flood control. Then we're going to have a look at conservation practices. So let's have a look at soil conservation techniques. Terracing, contour plowing, and mulching reduces soil erosion and enhances moisture retention for suitable land use. Vegetation management strategies: reforestation, controlling grazing, and covering crops restores vegetation and protects soil during the off-seasons. Environmental benefits: these conservation practices preserve soil fertility and biodiversity while mitigating climate change in the soil and the impacts thereof. I'd like to thank everybody for watching and listening. And if you've got any comments, suggestions, queries, or challenges, please share them with the OHS&E team. This is Joanne Zastro saying cheers for now.